Hello. Welcome in. Thanks for clicking this vid, feeling the pull, feeling the call. I really just felt called to come up here and talk about just this portal of time that we're in right now, in between these solar and lunar eclipse, and just how that energy's been coursing through for me and the wisdom that's come from it. So for me, this in-between period has been pretty crazy. It's a little fucked up, I would say. I got fired from my job, and I also was planning on taking an herbalism program, and that fell through as well. And so really it was these two main structural points that were keeping me in the city that I am now. Both fell through, and the only one that stayed was my apartment. And so it's really, what do you do with that? What do you do when you're hit with these things? And there's a lot of different frequencies to work with. So the first one is the frequency of being fired from a place. I've never experienced that one before, and hopefully never will. It is it feels like being shot is the way I would describe that, and really having something ripped from you. So it was like I got fired from this place for speaking my truth and for standing up for myself, and the management was treating me and my coworkers unfairly and was telling us that we can only talk during a 15-minute break, and was very rude about it. And I was like, well, that's just simply not reasonable, and also that's like just not, it's not truth, that's not kind, and that's very like disrespectful to us, to like being this policing force onto your employees. And then also the way they went about it, the way they spoke to us was very unkind, and you just can't have that, not in this day and age, not in this world. And I'm grateful to have reached a point where I'm grounded in myself and in my own expression, where I can express that and say, hey, that's not cool. And alas, that was not received well by them. They took that as me being disrespectful and defiant against their authority, and said some pretty rude things, which, you know, it's like, okay, say that. And in the future, and I'd say like for a lot of people too, societally we're pretty taught as employees to be these submissive, subservient beings, and what authority tells you is what you should follow, and to be this like genuinely like a bot, to be a little robot, to do the work, to put on this smile, and to always be focused on the task at hand. And that blueprint, that reality is just not in this world. It is not truth. It does not exist. And it also like completely diminishes authentic light. It diminishes self-expression. It diminishes authentic communication from even becoming. And yeah, I'm like, we gotta leave it. It's time to leave it. And so when I was fired, I of course had like a lot of cycling through of like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But also in a sense where it really wasn't very strong, because I know this truth very firmly in my heart, and I wish for you all to take this truth to the heart and allow this to guide you, is that nothing happens to us, everything happens for us. And if something falls off that aggressively, or if like things don't align, that's okay, and it's because they weren't meant to align. It's because it couldn't hold the frequency of your light, and it was not meant for your highest path. And so if that falls off, then that's okay, because I know that my light was here and my light was protecting me. This is my little child. And so, yeah. And I also know very firmly that me being fired from this place was the best thing that could ever happen to me, because it is going to catapult me into my dreams and into my highest version. And it also means that my energy is not going to be interacted with by people that do not see me clearly and do not treat me clearly, because I only deserve to be in spaces where I'm treated completely with love, with respect, and with honesty, and that are able to interact cleanly with me. And if you can't interact cleanly with me, then I don't even want to be there, because That's not suiting me. All you're doing is getting access to my light, access to my vibrancy, and I'm not receiving clean energy back. So that was a pretty crazy one to work with, and also like of grieving ties, and it really showed me the importance too of like when you are in meditation, when you are releasing ties, of calling back your energy and like visualize like giving that energy back. Visualize your energy coming back to you, cleansed, cleared, in the highest vibration. And also allowing the process of grieving to be, because even though I know that that was the best thing to happen for me, I'm still going to be upset. I'm still going to be sad because this was ripped from me. I wasn't able to say, oh, I actually am ready to leave this place, or I'm ready to call my energy back and do that before. Instead, it was pulled from me, and so I had to call my energy back from what was being pulled from me. I had to give my gratitude and like acceptance and closure to all those energetic ties and connections I made with all the people who I worked with, all the customers that were there. And that's a pretty hard process, and it's very sad. And allow myself to be sad. I allowed myself to cry. I allowed myself to grieve in a way that I've never grieved before. I allowed my heart to just be raw and sad. And I allowed the trees to hold me. I allowed myself to hold me, and I allowed my guides to hold me. Because in order for things to move forward, in order for things to move through, we have to allow the entirety of the energy to course through us. And it's not going to feel good. It's going to be shadows, and with those shadows are going to come doubt, fears, like, oh no, what will happen? What am I going to do? And it's like, allow that to be, allow that to course through, and as those come through, be that gentle voice of that affirmation of, I don't need to know what's next, but I know I'm protected. I don't need to know what's happened, but I know I'm supported. I know I made the right choice. I stand behind myself completely in this, and I will not abandon you, and I will allow you to cry and be sad and grieve, but you did nothing wrong, and I completely support you through everything you did. And so shifting that mindset of like when something bad happens, of being like, oh no, like now I need to repent for this. There's nothing to repent for. There's nothing that you did wrong. It just fell off, and that's okay. And yeah, allowing that to be. And also that when things do release, when things do die, I find in myself there's this tendency to be like, okay, now what's next? Like immediately after, I'm like, well, what should I do next? Like, should I start applying for jobs? Like all this stuff, and it's like, all that does is cause me more stress. All that does is make me more worried about, oh no, like I need to do X, Y, Z, like I've got bills to pay, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, just chill. Just chill. We don't need to worry about that right now. Let's worry about like grieving and like completely clearing this from our field, and then clearing it from my body, so that when it is time for me and when I'm ready to cleanly have my inner spring and grow these new flowers that are asking to be grown, that there's not this old energy that's still there. There's not this old poison that's like seeping into my soil and altering my flowers, because I don't want that. And so also allowing things to be the season that they are, and knowing that there is light, there is hope. And when that hope channels through, like I'll get little visions of what I want to do, of what I want to create, and it's like, oh cool, thank you. And I don't need to go any further into that. I can see and feel that energy of what I want to be, but I don't need to worry about how I'm going to make that possible. I don't need to worry about like, oh, I need to be doing this, so that it comes into fruition. I don't need to do that, because it will be if it's meant to be. And right now, all I need to do is grieve and mourn and work with the process that is showing me, work with the energies, work with myself that is being reflected, sit with it, and also really learn to tune into support. Like through this, I have received more support than I ever knew possible in the physical. I find for myself in the past, it's been very easy for me to just go straight into my spiritual world and receive the support from my guides, and to not really worry about the physical, because it's kind of like this, oh, the physical world just hurt me, so I don't even want to look at it. I want to just go straight to this world of love, this world of safety and holding me. And the truth is, my angels are there and they're holding me, but I also can be held by the physical world, and I can allow what's happened to me to also teach other people, and I can allow myself to be seen. It's safe for me to tell people how much this hurt my heart, how sad this was for me to experience, and it's safe for me to receive love and support, to have people tell me this is not your fault, this is okay, like you're supported, to receive hugs, to receive calls, to talk like very rawly, like exactly what's happening, exactly what I feel. And yeah, it just has been really transformational, and I like don't really know like who I would be if I hadn't taken that path and if I hadn't turned to support. And also with turning to support, it's like, just, you don't even have to be like, I need support now, and speaking that. You don't need to speak that specifically to someone. Like for me, it was just being like, oh, this really hurt, like, and then speaking out loud, like, I need to receive support. I need to be held, I need to be nourished. And then watching how, once you've asked for this from the universe, how it brings it through. Like for me, it was one day, like my heart was super heavy from this, and I like had cried and grieved, and I was like, oh, I just want physical comfort. And then I went to my other job and told my coworker like what I was experiencing, and immediately she's like, do you want a hug? Of course I want a hug, like, yes, please. And like receiving that support, and then noticing throughout the day how that support comes, and just noticing the seeds and the whispers of the universe, because this realm, everything we see, everything experience, was custom placed onto our paths for us. Like nothing comes without coincidence at all. And like immediately when I was fired from this job, like I'm like, holy shit, like what's going on? And next customer that comes in, because I was fired at my other job, you know, while I'm working at this one job. Next customer comes in, gets a flower essence that's gentian, and the essence of this flower, of this spirit, is that when obstacles come onto your path, when setbacks come up, of allowing you to see the light in them and allowing you to see past them. To see that there's still light through, even though the setback was here, I still see the light, and it is not blocking the light. It's not this block, it's not blocking the light. The light's still able to shine through. And so like receiving that, and then being like, wow, like thank you, this is so on par, this is exactly what I need. And then receiving that essence, receiving that healing. Yeah, it feels pretty potent. Because I know this is like, the energy of this period is really gray, I would say, is what comes through. It's the void. It's kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen, and like things falling through, seeing things that aren't working out, and then allowing that to be, because we are in between like two like pretty insane, pretty intense like potent events, and it's safe to rest, and it's safe to just be and nourish. And so like in this time for me, I've really been like reflecting as like what I'm craving for, what I'm longing for, and then how to give that to myself now in these moments. And also really like getting out in nature and genuinely just being like, just sit with a tree, just lay with a tree, just sit with yourself, do some meditations, and just like be. Don't think about the future, don't think about what you need to do, because now is not a time for doing. It is a time for just being and feeling, allowing that silence to come through, allowing the birds to chirp, allowing the sun to shine upon you, feeling the wind, hearing the water. And just allow that to be, because this is what we're here for. This is the whole point of it, is to enjoy this human experience, enjoy what's tangible, what's real, and what's physical, and allow these setbacks and allow these like obstacles that come through to redirect your eyesight and your gaze to that truth, that we're here to enjoy feeling the wind, to enjoy the grass, like to enjoy this gift of like what I can see around me, what I can feel, and what I achieve, what I accomplish in this lifetime matters, but not in that way. Because what matters is my soul journey, how I tend to and support myself through the obstacles, and how I tend to and support and connect with the earth, and connect with my guides, and connect with the whisperings of the universe. So yeah. Thanks for listening to that and for like hearing that channel. Yeah, that doesn't feel like much more to say, but just allow yourself to be, and it will all work out perfectly. I'm personally in a path of shit's gray as fuck. I don't know what's gonna be, but I know it's gonna be beautiful, and I know it's going to be better than I could ever imagine. And I know that I am on my highest path, and I can't wait to receive what will channel through with the space that was created, because once again, like, we are co-creators with the universe, and as like a human tendency, it's like, oh, I want to create and I want to be in control, but remember that we are not the only ones creating. There is Mother Spirit who is working with us. And so when she comes through and she's like, now you can't have that job, now you're not going to school, I'm not going to freak out and be like, yo, what the hell did you just do to all my pieces? I'm going to be like, okay, those pieces weren't good for me, because I know you see the bigger picture. I know you are the one that is able to understand and maneuver this completely. So I'm going to trust in what you did, and I'm going to stay calm, stay in my lane, and I'm not going to hurry up and pick up these pieces, because I don't need to. Those pieces were put down for a reason, and they will pick themselves up and new pieces will come in. So for now, I just get to be, I just get to receive, I just get to feel, and what greater gift is that? Especially in Virgo season, you know, like that yin just came too, so really tapping into that yin, tapping into that truth. Yeah. Thank you.